heavy and just really melodic, just because it has that like old Get Scared feel.
There's a lot of songs about death actually on this album. I think personally I was just like way stoked on it.
Yeah, those are cool songs in my opinion. I don't fucking know. Shit. Fuck everything.
Oh, what's that? Record's done. Killed it.
This is our 4th fucking album, and we're way stoked on it. It's turning out great. Chris Crummett recorded it. We've been wanting to work with him for a really long time, and it finally happened.
Chris and I go way back. We've done another record previously, almost 10 years ago. He was out of his dad's garage that he had built with him, and it was just super tight but awesome. It was like a reunion of a decade later, which has been really awesome, and how we both like just grown from music and just, you know, gotten further, and we've just gotten together and we're just knocking some cool stuff out, and it's pretty exciting to be back with him again. 2 thumbs up.
It was really fucking awesome to be able to work with him because of our history, and in the past I've worked with him before, so it was a special treat for me to be able to work with him again.
I never actually met him before. The other guys have a long history with him, so they kind of introduced me to him, and like right off the bat he just had the coolest chill vibes, bonded immediately.
It's gonna be good.
We went up there in the end of summer and did one song with him. It was Hell Is Where the Heart Is. After that we're like, shit, let's finish this album.
It was a new experience for me. It was like he has one big huge live room and pretty much there's some like soundproofing around you, but you're just in this big ass open room. It was super weird because he has really white lights and I hate fucking white lights, so I had to bring in all the lamps pretty much from every room and like surround my area. It was actually really cool though. I didn't feel like fucking claustrophobic.
Chris has a small apartment that he has graciously built. There's room for everybody to do whatever. Work on a riff somewhere or take a fucking shower. Like all the amenities were there. Cook food, obviously. Get beer from the fridge, yeah.
He was always just so patient and open, and like he trusted your ideas. Literally like wake up, write, music, everything else, and then even when we're hanging out, we're like in the recording atmosphere, you know, so it's like whole month and a half non-stop just music, because everyone just gets crammed together and you're kind of, there's like no personal space. There's no personal space anywhere, you know, so like it's just like tour, except you're waking up in the same city.
Living conditions was pretty wild, so we were trying to fit 5 motherfuckers in a goddamn place that sleeps 4 in a room and then obviously a couch. If you guys ever wake up and hear a symphony of farts, whew, that's a great time right there. You can't be mad about waking up at that point. It's pretty good shit right there. Or you wake up and you're still watching Spice World from the night before, or Talladega Nights, or Ted 2, or Jurassic Park. List goes on. Symphony of Farts, I hope that gets used.
He spoils all of his bands and just treats them really well. Made it for a really good atmosphere to write music in.
So the process began in the summer of like 2017 probably. Once we had found out we were recording with Chris Crummett, we're like, man, it's time to make a record.
Well, at the time, I was living in Chicago, so the only way that we could communicate, really, was through emails and texts. This is pretty much the album we've always wanted to write. Being all our albums smushed into one. This is a lot more mature, you know, just a lot heavier, catchier. It's different than every other record. This one is special.
Dude, this one's like stepped up our game.
It's fucking cool as shit.
This, for us to write a new album, is kind of weird. We do it like a bunch of different ways. We'll just demo things out just digitally on our computer separately, and then we can kind of come together and show each other ideas.
Getting stoked about it, getting excited, getting scared.
Sometimes we'll even just come and jam it live, see how it feels. I like recording really difficult MIDI drums and then watching Dan figure it out in real life. Fucking idiot. Like, watch.
Oh yeah, he'll never fucking be able to do that with a fucking idiot.
And then we finish it, and we bring it to the studio and just bring it to life. Adam, he's just an intellectual. Like, he has a way with words. He has so much finesse. He's our go-to guy whenever we need to, like, make legit statements. He's like a super loving, nice guy, but at the same time, he's the aggro guy of the group. If, like, any time we're a promoter is just giving us any type of shit, like financially, he's the one to just be like, what the fuck, and like freak the fuck out and just get all tough guy. Not in a bad way, but yeah, he's just all about getting shit done.
Adam, he is just the best vibe person to be around. Like, he's so knowledgeable. He knows fucking everything about everything. He always has something inspiring to say. He's a very enlightening person, a very, very huge heart. Well, his emotions radiate off of him. Like, if you've ever been around someone, you can tell when, like, you can feel the love, or you can feel, like, if they're annoyed. Like, you can definitely sense all of those emotions out of Adam. He doesn't have to say anything. He doesn't have to give you, like, a look. It's just like this, like, vibration that comes out of his body. You can just feel it. It's cool to see that on stage, though, because when you watch him play, like, he's free.
Alright. Alright, get him. Slobber all over my face now. Just use it as moisturizer. Over here, buddy. Or somewhere else. This is the 4th full-length record from Get Scared, the 3rd of which I personally have been a part of. So for me, from an outside perspective, I already had seen the band progress. Was it Cheap Tricks and Theatrics and
Best Kind of Mess.
Yeah, Best Kind of Mess, which I wasn't a part of, so I can fumble on the name. Fuck you. Still loved it though. I was super jealous when it came out, honestly, as a musician and another person in another project at the time in Utah, when they became, you know, a nationally acclaimed act because they were from fucking Utah and everyone wanted to do that. So, you know, I watched the Get Scared guys, us, progress to a point where the formula had been found for lack of a better term. Do you know what I mean? Look at this. So I'll cut to the chase. The record is really honest, and from my perspective, I can see that in everything. In the vocals, and in everyone's ability to bend on certain things that in the past that we kind of didn't. You know what I mean? It's obvious that it's unique, but it's also obviously that it's not something that just happens. Like, you work on these things and you decide what is, you know, mutually cool with everybody. I just feel like it's a really honest record. When I listen to it, it's like, hell yeah, Nick, you really mean that shit. And I feel like the process in which we did that really captured it. Like, being up in Portland in the fall when it's rainy and shitty, that was the environment that we were in. Whereas when we were in LA for the last 2 records, it's fucking LA. Do you know? It doesn't fucking matter what time of the year you're there. It's 80 degrees! And it's nice outside, and it's an environment where you want to kind of go do other things rather than focus on what the fuck you're there for. You know? By default, made it easier for everyone to just fucking buckle down and focus. This is the best time I've had making a record in my life, so. Do you want to come be on the video? Is this your debut? I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. Who's it's and what's it's galore. It's the Little Mermaid, in case you fucking didn't know. Stay in school! Don't play rock music! Actually, be yourself. Fucking whatever you want to do. Besides murder. Lloyd... just like really obviously he had 4 older sisters. Probably gonna be a little sentimental for everybody. Lloyd is a badass fucking guitar player, and I feel like will be a great producer.
If I had to say something about Brad, it's that he overthinks everything, but it's always for the better. Everything always comes out that much better just when Brad is involved. I've been riding with Brad since I was in 13, probably, but I still fucking hate him.
Most talented son of a bitch you'll ever meet, but so goddamn modest that it just kind of pisses you off. Also, the funniest motherfucker alive. He's like a cartoon.
It's fucking Johnny. Look at it.
Is that chia seeds? Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm Johnny. I want to keep my 6-pack. Dude, you want to get some serious mess? 50 grams of protein, 249 carbs, 25 vitamins and minerals. Brought to you by On, where you can really get yourself on. 1,270 calories. It's weird that Johnny got all this and he's still a skinny little bitch. Just kidding, Johnny. You're sexy and you're fucking strong and I'm fucking fat and stupid. Damn, actually, this is sick. I mean, fucking idiot buying this shit.
He stresses a lot. He definitely has to deal with a lot of anxiety, and sometimes he wears his emotions on his sleeve. And so when he's feeling anxiety, sometimes it wears off on you. And you're like, why do I feel like this? And you're like, oh yeah, Brad's stressing out about something. So now sometimes you need a little stress in order to create harmony, you know? Like a guitar, each string needs just the right amount of tension to be in tune.
And then me? Dude, I don't know, man. One day I woke up and I could fucking spit, you know? Just fuck. Is this thing on? Oh my god, fuck you, Spartacus, right now? Drinking fucking water? Periphery played with Pantera in Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie, New York. Unique, New York.
You look like Jafar.
That is the best compliment I've ever gotten.
But you don't have a cool goatee like he does.
Jafar.
Right there. Yeah, that's Jafar look right there.
How does this album differ from the others? Well, it just has more life to it. There's something real special. For a lack of a better word, it sounds organic. I know that sounds stupid, but it really sounds like Get Scared. It sounds true to our sound. One thing special about this album, really special to me, is I do way more vocals on this album than I've done on any of our records. The guys really pushed me to do more vocals and kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone. I'm not a fucking singer, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But it turned out so rad. We've never done the whole back and forth singing between Nick and I. It's always just been Nick. I mean, like, Johnny and I will do harmonies and stuff, but like it's never been like up front. Way pumped on it. I think it gave the album kind of just a different vibe than any of our other records. So I'm stoked for everyone to hear that and fucking talk shit because I totally fucking suck. God, I'm fucking lame. Picked up these fucking, look at these right here. You see that? Picked up these Nike Zooms just today, 2018. Peep that. What? We took time on making the drums just sound perfect, or he. And then the guitar tone, just great. Once again, took time on that. Bass tone, literally everything. Picked this up the other day, you know what I mean? Bada bing. Fucking. I mean, it's old. It's out of tune, but. Dream she came to me. I guess this one I'm just way stoked on because personally, as a fan of music, I like organic sounding recordings. Start with Dan, one of my best friends, but also biggest dick I've ever met in my life. Fucking stubborn as hell, but also knows what the fuck he's talking about, so it makes it really hard to argue with him. Really fucking hard worker, always trying to prove a point to like make you look like you're not working hard enough. Like just work way harder and just make you look stupid, and it pisses me the fuck off.
Dan, I don't even need to describe you because the footage that's going to be left out from this is perfect explanation of you. Pain, suffering, power through it. So he does things that makes him happy, and one of them happens to be beating the shit out of drums. Motherfucker. Yeah, he blows me away every time. Also, fuck you!
I remember first meeting Dan, and he was playing in a different local band at the time, You know, he just looked good while I was playing. He fucking hit the drums hard as hell. And I was like, fuck, I gotta have that drummer. You can tell when someone has passion in what they're doing, you know? And Dan definitely has passion when he's beating the fuck out of his drums. And that's what I want in a band. That's what I want in band members, you know? I want everyone to have as much passion as I do, you know? That's what creates magic.
To be continued.
And I broke into. My God. Fuck shit. Fuck you. Fuck son of bitches.
Waiting for you to mention.
Oh, fuck. Sometimes I'm like, fuck, I just want to eat some candy right now. Let me rehearse some of these questions.
Okay, it's just the same shit.
Should I wear some sunglasses? Things shit, or like drunk history? Oh, let's show you this fucking thing. I say if I'm looking at the chair, I'm trying to look at myself if I look at the chair. You guys ever move your eyes on one side like really hard and just hurts everything about your head?
Yeah.
This will be album number 4. We'd sit there, figure out what sizes we want to use, what symbols we want to use, tuning, just everything like that, heads, trying out different symbols. We had 3 symbols of the same thing, and we just try them out tone-wise. It's pretty cool. So it's definitely a lot of geeking out going on in the drum process, which is exciting for me because I'm a drum nerd. As like Crummett is a drum nerd too, so it's really cool to just be like, no, this one sounds better, this one sounds cool, let's try this tuning out. And their engineer, Matt Long, great mind, he's got some cool ideas. He does this thing where he matches snare pitches with like albums he'll listen to, and he'll just kind of hit them. So if you like a record sound of the snare, you kind of match that pitch, and fuck, that works pretty good. Are you still munching away at your food, Spartacus? You fucking scavenger ass. I get to make records with my friends and continue on and supporting Utah and knowing that bands exist here, and fucking we rule. That's about it.
And then Johnny, you're interviewing me, so this is kind of weird. Luscious locks and your 18-pack. Hell, dude, nothing. It's been nothing but love between me and you. You know it. The Day 2 days and the Gang days and I Am the Ocean and Mutton Hollow and the plethora of venues we played through the 10 years of our friendship before I even played. We got to play like we get to play guitars together now. You know. Left-handed guitar player, besides the upside down shit at the first. But that's still tight. That's your steez. That was what you're doing. But there's a lot of people that I love too. But like, you're fucking a really important part of my life. And I don't know what the fuck I would have done a couple years ago when you let me live with you. Literally packed up all my recording shit, everything I fucking owned, and put it in your fucking living room area thingy. And that's what I did. I fucking love you. Like, I love you. Like, it's weird that's weird to say to people in this day and age.
Johnny, he's the fucking dad of the band. Always making sure, like, everyone's fucking getting their shit done and making sure we do things on time. Anytime our RV, like, breaks down or anything, he just gets out and just gets it done. There was one time he was just fucking manly as fuck. Like, our serpentine belt broke on like the side of this fucking canyon. He just got out there, fucking pushed the fucking pulleys down and just popped a new one on, like goddamn MacGyver.
Dear smokers, you ever break your fucking cigarette and get all pissed off, especially if it's your last one? Well, don't throw it away. Don't fucking act like a bitch. I'm gonna show you how to fix it. What you do, break it apart first. And you empty out the rest of the tobacco that's next to the cigarette filter. But, whatever. And this side, take a little of that tobacco out too. You're gonna waste a little tobacco, but it's better than not having a cigarette at all. So, I'm here to help you. Twist that up into like a little cone, sharp little thing. What you wanna do, take that shit out of there. Put it into that hole. Twist it ever so lightly. Trust me, I've been on tour many years and have done this many times. Bam! Fresh new cigarette. This is a tutorial done by John and V. Hope you appreciate it. Happy smoking.
Fuck.
Really? Alright, now we're ready. This is album number 4. We recorded it with Chris Crummett up in Portland, Oregon. The writing process for the album, he was always just so patient and open, and like he trusted your ideas. You know, that alone just made the whole process so much easier and enjoyable. Brad and I always write together ever since our last album. Like, we get together and write a bunch of riffs, regardless if they're used for Get Scared or not. So that kind of gave us a good head start, you know. And as far as like, Nick was in Chicago at the time, so we had to do a lot of emailing and like voice memos and calling. So after Nick flew out, that's when the gears really started turning, and we started getting the direction for the album. I think we've always had a pretty specific sound. You know, we grow and things change. If you just keep releasing the same sounding album, it just gets boring. Everything in life is constantly changing. You know, nothing ever stays the same, so why should your music? It's a form of expression, and, you know, throughout life you experience different things, and then as an artist you write about it or you express yourself through it, you know? And so we always try to experiment and try new things. You know, whatever, fuck, I'm gonna start this over. We kind of just said fuck it. I don't know, we did whatever the fuck we wanted. And it was a lot more relaxing. We just took our time. Then we packed everything up, went up to Portland. It was literally raining the entire time. It definitely set the mood for just staying inside and focusing and just writing. And so it kind of gave the album a more solemn feel. And then the recording process, you know, Kermit has his apartment that he lets us stay in, and there's a couple different rooms. Nick would usually stay in the control room, and then, you know, we'd be spread out into like the bedroom, living room, just kind of write all over the area, you know, definitely indoors. Like, everyone just trusted each other's opinions a lot more, and it was just a lot more organic, a lot more fun, and being more open-minded towards each other. We tend to butt heads a lot, you know, because we have our strong opinions on how certain parts should go in songs, and, you know, sometimes it's frustrating. Definitely the funnest album I've ever been a part of. I'm done. Nick is one of the most unique people I've ever met in my life. He's the sweetest person, and he always has the best intentions. He's been through fucking hell and back, I don't even know how many times in his life, and somehow still manages to pull himself up and to be focused. He's a pretty quiet person, a little reserved, you know.
Fucking love the lyrics too.
Hard to avoid and somewhat unaware that I can't stand the sound of your voice or mend the tears of 15 years. Took all the abuse, walked away black and blue. You betrayed me in the worst way you knew, and I need like a cool last line somewhere, but...
Dude, that's really good. Oh, I can't help but smile. It's so good.
You know, those rock star stories of like the tortured singer, you know, a lot of musicians try to have that kind of persona, you know. To me, it doesn't seem like most of them can really back it up. And Nick is the exact opposite. He's one of the only people I've known who's been through so much hell, but doesn't really, like, talk about it. Like, on every album, like, Nick, come on, like, sing about this shit. Like, this is real stuff that people want to know about, you know, but it's personal. And, you know, it's hard for someone to express the kind of hell they've been through, you know. They don't want to be a pity party. Not what he's been trying to portray, but I think we pulled a lot of honesty out of him on this album. But, like, he is so consumed in writing and producing music is his life. My favorite singer's in my band, so...
Nick, he's the artist of the band. Very misunderstood. He's very sensitive, but also he's been through a lot of shit, so he can handle some shit. He's crazy talented, just fucking awesome to write music with. He's taught me a shit ton about recording, and also I've known the dude since like fucking 3rd grade. I don't know one other person that I've known since 3rd grade besides my fucking siblings and my parents.
Nick and I have had a bit of a rocky, you know, relationship. And it's no one else's fault but nobody, because shit is crazy and life's fucking hard, and we're both in bad spots. When he came back to Get Scared and I was a current member, we both were going through tumultuous times in our lives. And that had a strain on the band and our friendship. But shit's hard, and you either got to quit or you got to keep going. Perfect explanation is that I'm just proud of the motherfucker.
When we started, I kind of just be like,
Just looking way, man.
As long as that's not
I'm not good at this, so you need to fucking help me out. It's not my good side, though. This is my good side. Okay.
Alright.
Tongue between the teeth. I'm sweating.
What was that?
It's one of those stress balls. Filled it with lube.
Dude, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
So what number album is this?
This would be the fourth. Lyrically, I cared a lot more than I ever have. I've never focused so much energy into something that we've done. I don't think there was a moment the whole time we were there that I wasn't in front of a computer besides like 3 hours of sleep. I don't know, I fucking gave it 110%.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, I just want to be honest.
Do it.
Can't be honest.
Tried a bunch of sad boy lyrics and I need to be alone, pretty much. I need to be isolated, because, yeah, I get thrown out of the mood. Like, I'm a super vibey person, so if I get thrown out of anything that I'm doing, it's like I can't do it. And this time I had to kind of like close myself off a lot. These lyrics are probably the best ones I've ever written. I actually focused so much energy into everything that I did. I made sure every word was exactly how I wanted it. Yeah, I'm just really proud of this, like everything I've written for this record. Wait, are we filming right now? No, when you edit it together, it's gonna be like, I am Nick. Hey.
Alright. So we didn't prepare very well for this record, financially and with groceries. So we're just gonna try to live off of what Chris Crummett has in his fridge in his apartment that he's letting us stay in. We noticed there's a lot of stuff, and we're lucky. This one, what is this?
Pad Thai.
Thai. I mean, it's probably noodles and thighs.
Put a little back into
There,
that.
no, that's good.
Uno, dos, tres, something.
I fucking hate you.
You know what? Sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up and just eat.
Cheers.
Days that stood out on during the recording process wasn't a positive time, and it was my fault. There was this one time we were on crunch time for recording guitars, and I thought it was a great idea to get super hammered the night before, which I swore, I'm not going to drink during this record because I want to feel good, I want to focus, and I just decided it was a great idea to get super hammered. I was so miserable recording like three of the songs. It was at least 3 or maybe even 4. Like I would in between parts I would have to like just go sit and put my head down on the table and like try not to barf, and just like Chris and his engineer Matt were so understanding and like way chill about it, but it was embarrassing. I don't know. Yeah, I punished myself.
Alright, so one of the days I probably remember the most, because, like I was saying, Chris is a friend of mine, and he got us wings towards the end of the recording process. It was kind of like a surprise thing, let's all have dinner together. Yeah, it was just cool, because in that time we were just eating wings and drinking beer and talking about shit that was not music related, and that's fucking cool.
There was this one day, it was right after Dan got done tracking drums, and he was passed out in his bed, and Brad was with Chris's engineer tracking guitars or something at a different studio down the road, and it was just Nick and I. I had to finish up some leads for some songs, and Nick had some vocals to do, and then just hear this big boom, all the speakers, everything just turns off, all the lights go out, and we're just sitting there in pitch black, like, what the hell just happened? And all the power went out, so we literally found every candle we could in the house and just lit all the candles and just kept writing. I had my laptop. It was a little creepy in there. It was dark, and you can hear the water from the faucet dripping. You can hear the rain outside hitting the windows. But that's when I was writing the leads for Bad Things, I believe. And apparently it worked out because everything turned out awesome.
Favorite songs on the new album. I got a few, but I'll just try to pick like one or two. Enough is Enough. Fucking love that song. It's cool because that whole intro is actually inspired by a Rage Against the Machine riff, but it has like a Korn feel at the same time. I don't know. I just love that. And then like straight into it, it goes into the verses, and it sounds like. And actually, the bridge on that song has my favorite vocal performance that I did on the album. I just fucking love it. I think it's just like crazy heavy and just really melodic. I'm pretty sure that is like that bridge on that song is the heaviest thing we've ever done on any record. And then I would, if I had to choose another one, Dead Days. Fucking love Dead Days. That song just lyrically is just awesome. It's just super like jaded, and like it's like a really lighthearted sounding song, but the lyrics are just really dark, and I fucking love that. I just thought that was really cool, and Nick fucking killed it. Like Nick basically wrote that entire song. Well, he did write it all vocally, and when he showed it to me in the studio, I just fucking fell in love with it, and I was like, dude, it's got to be on the album. I love it. And so yeah, that one's just really dear to me as well. But I love the whole album.
Favorite songs, Bad Things would probably be one of my favorites. It's all in the title. That's why. No, I'm a big fan of just really heavy headbanging kind of music, and I think that song sums up everything I love about heavy music. Like, it has heavy parts, the chorus is catchy as fuck, and this is the first time we've ever had an intro with just bass. I know I like the raw, just fucking heavy stuff. And then the bridge is kind of one of the first times we've done like an instrumental bridge, which is like guitar doing some stuff, no vocals, it's just kind of like a rock out part. And so I don't know, just everything about that song it just flows really good to me. Another song I'd probably say would be Time Keeps Running, just because it has that like old Get Scared feel, kind of theatrical, kind of like time signature is a little different. The bridge is really like, ominous feeling, and it's just heavy and chaotic. I don't know. I like heavier shit.
If I had to choose two, I'm gonna choose three. Three of my favorite songs off the album. It would be The Dead Days, Give Up My Ghost, and Hell Is Where the Heart Is, mostly because of the lyric meaning in all of them. The Dead Days is pretty cool. It's like about when you get told that for the first time that we're all gonna die as a kid, and how impactful that is to actually realize that we all will die someday. There's a lot of songs about death actually on this album. Give Up My Ghost, it's like it's deep. I don't even know how to say that. It's about suicide and just feeling like you're hopeless, pretty much. Same as Hell's Where the Heart Is. But those are my three favorite.
What? So, what do you think? You son of a...
I think my favorite song on the record is probably Hell Is Where the Heart Is. And for a really simple reason for me, it was the first song that Lloyd really did vocals to. And I think that is like a really... I mean, it's going to stand on this record no matter what, but I think personally I was just like way stoked on it because I knew he always had the potential to do that kind of shit, but never, I don't know how to explain it, not that maybe he didn't feel obligated to or just didn't fucking want to or some shit, but that song is just like, fuck yeah, that's like the dynamic of Get Scared for me that was kind of, I don't want to say missing, but like all of a sudden there's this extra piece you can add to it, and that was just like, boom. Really fucking cool sounding. So along the same lines, Time Keeps Running, I just really like the call and answer feel of that song between Nick and Lloyd. Because like I keep going back to that, but I really feel like Lloyd singing on this record added a huge dynamic to it. And Hell Is Where the Heart Is, I was like, fuck yes. I was super proud of him. You know, I texted him a bunch of times, called him, told him how much I really liked it. And then as the record got, you know, finished and all that, that was actually one of the last songs that we got. The fucking right out of my brain again. Time Keeps Running. Stoner. But yeah, that was one of the last songs that we got, and we got the songs, individually, and that's kind of when we all heard them in completion outside of the studio. You know, otherwise we're hearing parts that don't have like the guitars fully done or whatever. But when we got that song, that was one of the last ones, and it really stood out to me because of how fluent the call and answer, and like, I just think that song is fucking rad as fuck in general. But yeah, that's all I got right now.
So the songs on the record that I like are probably the most upbeat ones. They're fun because I'm the drummer, so I like to do the drum stuff. It would probably be Silence. That's the song we have called Silence. It starts off right hitting your face, fucking fun drums. Time Keeps Running is another cool one because it's like, seems aggressive and all that stuff, but I'm really just doing halftime stuff, but it's kind of tricky. But that's the stuff that's kind of fun for drumming wise. I don't know how everyone else feels about it, but hey, it's cool. The bridges are awesome, they're heavy. That's another fun thing. Doing them live would be like killer. Fucking, yeah, those are cool songs in my opinion. I don't fucking know. Shit. Fuck everything.